Welcome in this week, everybody. Dylan's here, and
That's
I
a
brought
me.
Donny with us too.
Hello.
This week we're gonna start with a topic that is apparently pretty popular amongst the three of us. But why do trading card games have so much damn text? Like, is this another one?
Yeah, I can't. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name.
Oh my! What is that name? Asmoron Mardic Das Tinkcudalar car? What the hell is that?
So I'm going back to my original, elementary school, sound it out. There's no sounding that out.
I just tried to. And I just butchered that completely. And I thought hard about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it's crazy because when you think of card games with stupidly long text, the first thing that normally comes to mind is Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they fit part of a book in a little like inch by inch square.
And you're running so many cards that are exactly like that. If you want to be any sort of competitive in today's game.
Well, it depends on the format and what TCG you're really playing.
That. But what really blows ass is whenever you go to a regionals event and you have to, in those tiny little boxes, try and write out some of these cards' names. Like Blue and Typhon. Dude, I could look in my deck. DDD Wave High King Caesar. Super Star Slayer Typhon - Sky Crisis. Like even this one, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Leave. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max.
No. Mine was probably by far the worst. Okay, for my Malice deck.
Neo Terahertz.
Fucking all the Malice cards, and you actually had to abbreviate some of the actual cards. I'm gonna pull them out here.
And actually, I'm gonna try to pull up a picture to send Dylan so he can see. You even have to write it in the weird abbreviation.
Yeah,
it has to be exact.
It must be exact, otherwise the card does not exist. You can't even shorten it. Like everybody knows from like Yu-Gi-Oh, like infinite impermanence. You can't just say imperm. You just literally have to write that shit out.
Yes.
Like, could you imagine trying to write this magic card's name in that box?
No.
That's even ever happening.
You know what would really suck? Because if you, like, whenever, at least in Yu-Gi-Oh, whenever you write out your deck list, you have to walk up and submit it for entry. And there are some of the judges up there that are, like, not nice. And if you misspell something, they'll make you go rewrite it.
Oh, dear.
Like, the whole thing. So imagine, like, just the simplest error on that.
I would kindly and politely tell them to fuck a duck.
Exactly. That's the correct response.
It's like, you fucking write it.
Exactly.
You write it then, dickhead.
Here. So this is an example of the Malice cards, because actually Donnie and I both play this deck.
Oh, these are those Alice in Wonderland cards you're telling me about.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, so do you have to actually do the little arrow thing with the P?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's dumb.
So
it really is
fucking annoying. Did you send him the traps too?
No, I was actually about to send him terahertz.
Like, that's just dumb. So, like, if you don't add those little arrow things, and you just write Malice P White Rabbit, it doesn't count?
It does not count.
Yep. That is
dumb as shit.
Telling me.
Actually, here are the rest of them too.
Oh dear.
Actually, they're all the main deck stuff is right there in that picture. But yeah, you have to write all of them out just like that.
Did you?
That's annoying.
Are you gonna send them these? Like this one was difficult for me because
Cyber Steve's Worm.
I might be slightly dyslexic because of that card.
Yeah, that makes me not want to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
At least at a high level, like honestly, it's like I've told you about it before, but the little custom format that we play, like our
Right.
chaos format, honestly, like that's the kind of stuff where I have the most fun with this game.
Yeah.
Like being competitive is cool and whatnot, and it honestly is a lot of fun. It's one of the bigger reasons I like the game. Not really so much to be competitive, but on that level, you have to be like constantly making big plays.
Mm.
Right.
So it really it makes you think a lot.
I mean,
If
maybe
you
it's just me. Maybe it's the fact that I don't like to read tiny text. But I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh is like one of those things that like I enjoyed the crap out of it when I was younger, when it was a much simpler time. But
exactly,
I don't want to have to be I don't want to have a master's degree in English language arts to play a card game.
dude, and I feel it. I really do. It's just I'm kind of already too invested to
All
just
the shiny
talk,
cardboard.
dude.
Yeah.
Actually, Donnie can attest for this. But over the like, what I'd say the past 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
I have been doing I have been making some serious moves. Like I've been doing some really big like rarity upgrades. I have picked up what like almost 3 deck cores,
Yeah.
complete ones.
Yeah.
And actually I did get a whole extra Mimigul core from our buddy Rick.
Rick. Yeah.
So I've actually the last couple months really invested in some stuff.
Nice.
But you know, like I said, I understand the reasons why people wouldn't want to play this game. Like honestly, it's even bad that the bad monsters in the game have a whole storybook of text.
Yeah. Unless you're playing vanillas, then you don't really need to read.
You know, I kind of miss that. Like I miss the normal monsters that used to have the little bit of lore about them in the text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like even Dark Magician was pretty simple, like the most powerful wizard in both attack and defense. Short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah. Like you knew he was that guy from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though Summon Skull was always the better option.
Right? One sacrifice instead of two. Unless
Like
Joey Wheeler's out there slinging shield and sword around.
he's out there just yeah, Inferno
Dragon.
Inferno fire ass attack.
All right, so speaking of Joey, who do you think would win in a duel between Joey Wheeler and Chaz Princeton?
Chaz.
In terms of skill,
You think Chaz?
but yes, in terms of skill, Chaz, but honestly, I believe he has a better Joey has a better record than Chaz.
That and Joey, like maybe I'm wrong, but in not one but two world tournaments, he was in like the top three. If I'm top three or top four,
Top 2.
Because he had that
yeah,
World
at
Tournament
Duelist
about
Kingdom
yeah, Duelist Kingdom.
Yep.
What did I say?
and then Battle City.
Yeah,
Like,
he was
and by all means, he should have beat
Technically,
Merrick.
he was top four if we're going that route, but technically he was the third
Yep.
because of some shenanigans. But otherwise, he would have won.
yeah.
Yeah, he definitely should have beat Merrick. But, you know, they had to progress the I Steal Your Soul story.
I know.
Oh yeah,
I still, dude, This might be a hot take, but I feel like Raw is just that it belongs with Joey.
Can you imagine how much this story would have changed if Joey ended up with Raw?
He ain't gonna be able to read the card. That's the only difference. And he doesn't know
Well,
the
you didn't
ancient
have to
secret.
read the cards in the anime. You just made up things in your head and they did them.
Well, do you also
There's someone
remember
right did.
the tradition of actually summoning Ra? You have to know the chant. You also have to know its anime effects and all this other stuff. Like
Yeah, because
Ra,
remember, Mai tried to summon him and it
I mean,
didn't
do you
work.
really think that they would write that in the show or the manga that, Joey got Raw and he didn't know how to use it?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
You're kind of right.
To be fair, like he would have to be some Egyptian descendant to actually read that because Kaiba and Yugi were able to read it, but Joey can't, and Mai didn't either. She
No.
couldn't read. She stole it and it turned into a giant sphere and it was a fucking big letdown, obviously.
Yes.
So would they write the story any different? No. Because it would have just been another big huge break in his deck. So I'm actually satisfied that it went that way. However, if he would have lost to anybody, like say, let's, yeah, if he lost in any other way against Yugi or Kaiba, I feel like he would have just handed over the card regardless to Yugi. If he somehow won against Kaiba, he would have just handed that shit to Yugi. To be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably not wrong in saying any of that, realistically. Because there would have been some, like, yeah, Yugi, this belongs with you all along.
Because the talisman tells you so, Yug. Shit like that.
I still also feel like they should have continued with the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga.
The one where Yugi's playing death games with people?
Yeah, where he literally sets a whole restaurant kitchen on fire
Yeah.
and some dude alive. He really
Dude,
sent people to the Shadow Realm.
yeah, I mean that's based on Yu-Gi-Oh! Season
No,
or is
because
Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 is based on that, and that's just dark.
It is
no,
so dark.
dumb censorship by 4 Kids was the original anime was if you remember the one scene where two agents come into a room where Kaiba's in,
They have
they're
guns instead
actually
of
pointing guns. They're
yeah.
like, no, let's point at him.
Well, it's the
Like,
same thing with Bandit Keith. Like when he
yeah.
jumped up to Pegasus, he pulled out a revolver.
No, he didn't. He pulled out the magical pistol gun.
I pulled out my finger. Pew pew.
Pew pew.
It's literally,
Nah.
dude. I still think it's bullshit that they censored Desperado or
What do you mean?
Barrel
Nerf?
Dragon.
No, that's not Desperado.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
not
meant just the
Barrel.
regular Barrel Dragon.
No, that's not Barrel Dragon. That is Nerf Gun Dragon.
Well, it is now. Like, when he actually had the revolver, he was really cool. I mean, the laser cannons are still cool, but come on. You literally have cowboys. It like Gaga Ga Cowboy.
Yeah.
Does he not have a revolver? I'm pretty sure he does.
Not
Could be
anymore.
wrong. But and that's even like I know they'll never do it too, but number 41, Baguska, the terribly tired tapir. The original artwork is this little dude passed out drunk with a bunch of like booze bottles, and we got him just like taking a nap.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, Gaga Cowboy, no, they're not regular revolvers. They're like
Yeah,
green square star shooters or something.
yeah, it's I don't know. At least we're not as bad as China, though.
Like, I think somewhere in my collection of older cards, I still have an original Harpy Lady
Yes.
where it
Yes,
shows like all of the side boob.
yes.
You mean all of the skin?
Yeah, all of the skin. And then I think I still have an original Harpy Lady Sisters where they have like the Madonna nipples. It's the best way to
I've
describe it
never heard
is
that. I have never heard Madonna nipples in my life, and I love that.
It's basically it's basically they just have really pointy boobs.
yeah.
But it's the arm.
It's like Laura Croft boobs from the original Tomb Raider.
Right.
Pixelated.
No, those were polygons, my man.
Didn't stop everyone from doing or like pausing the screen at a certain point.
So many kids.
Right.
90s kids, raise your hands. We know you did it.
I'm not even.
So here's another one. Who do you think would win? Who do you think would win in a duel between Seto Kaiba and Zane Truesdale?
Oh.
Oh, I gotta go with Zane.
See,
I gotta go with Kaiba, especially
Honestly,
with like the newer movie and stuff. All the Blue Eyes support that he had.
ooh, I guess you're right. Yeah, he has way surpassed. Because actually, I think even in Dark Side of Dimensions, he uses alternative.
but
I wish the cubic monsters were better. That was such a cool concept.
it's. I mean, it's still cool. I have the deck.
I have it somewhere too in the bulk.
It's so fun. Trying to go back. They're both very expert duelists. One
Yep.
is want to say, yeah. It was for graduation.
Zane versus Jaden.
No, Zane versus Kaiba.
Did they? They didn't duel, did they?
No. Going back to the previous question that you asked,
Oh yeah.
I would honestly have to side with Zane here. Cause if because Kaiba did have a couple like dragon supports here and there, or I should say level 8, or not level 8, level 4 or lower dragon types. Because if you remember, Cyber Darks were still a thing, and they can attach. And if they go into that big Cyber Dark dragon, he can basically take one of Kaiba's monsters and equip it to him. So there's that.
There is that.
Didn't Cyrus end up with the Cyber Dark monsters?
In the in the Jap- in the Japan anime, yes, we
Yeah,
did
in
get that.
season 4.
The only other factor that I'm just now really and Kaiba. So I was really only thinking Blue Eyes versus Cyber Dragon,
Hmm.
but Kaiba's got anime obelisk.
Oh shit.
No.
That really shakes my
That de-
decision.
that depends on where we're at with Kaiba and Zane, because I'm putting it to the strongest form. If we're going
What?
back to Battle City Kaiba,
He
then
still
yes, he still has Obelisk, but he did have to give it up to Yugi, which he basically used all three, sacrificed them, and did all of that dungeon dice or Dungeons and Dragons type fucking esque whatever with Bakura slash Zori. But
I mean, in the new movie, he summoned Obelisk too.
he did.
that's not a card.
It's
It
a
was
god.
it's not a monster. It's a god.
Dude, like,
Does Kobe even have a deck anymore since all of his shit's virtual now?
Oh.
I mean, he's basically virtual at this point,
Right?
Yeah.
Nuked himself to the afterlife.
right?
Yeah, he literally fucking time skipped back to the good old Pharaoh days, and he just still wanted smoke.
Dude, just talk about, dude, imagine being that petty.
I can't. I'm not that petty, so I'm not petty. If someone wins, they win. However, I'm still ready to get the fucking get back.
Right? Because, I mean, I know they weren't tied. Because Yugi won their first duel. Kaiba won the rematch. Yugi
Because
won Yugi won the second duel at Battle City. Yeah, so Yugi's ahead by 1.
two.
Is it by 2?
Hmm.
Oh, if you count, yeah. No. Did they get to finish their battle in different dimensions?
I think they did. Like, you're forgetting the other movie. With
The
Anubis.
Pyramid of Light?
Yeah.
They didn't
So
finish their battle.
if Anubis wouldn't have intervened,
Kaiba would have won.
what do you?
Because Kaiba's whole ordeal, he was going to use Blue Eye Shining Dragon to nuke Pyramid of Light. He was going to use that trap card to resummon all 3 Egyptian gods to his side of the field and then beat Yugi with them.
You know what I just thought of?
That sounds
Konami just missed a huge opportunity.
to actually make the Egyptian gods good.
No,
Fuck.
no, hear me out. The Sphinxes.
The Sphinx.
The Sphinxes from that movie.
Oh.
And the battle
Andros,
with
Talay,
Anubis.
and Thinian, yeah.
Anubis is now a card, bro.
Is he?
They missed an opportunity.
That's true.
They could have made the Sphinxes cool.
I thought they were pretty cool.
Well, they could have made them like actually playable.
Like, I remember I was at a fair and they happened to have the movie packs where you got all 3 Sphinxes, you got Petin, the Dark Clown, you got the one Silver Dragon or whatever the hell he was called. And I think that was it. I don't remember who else, but I think that was the lineup that they gave you. And I thought they were so cool that I bought 2 more thinking that I was going to get different cards.
That had to be a letdown
Yeah, it was annoying.
because I did the same thing as a kid.
Man, I wish I was so into you watch that because I heard movie theater giving small like it was a one card pretty sure.
Yeah, one pack for one card basically per ticket, I think.
And you had options of Pawn, the Shining Dragon, Dark Magician, Dark Sorcerer.
Yeah, it was like Dark Sorcerer. I actually still have my Blue Eyes Shining theater.
Was it from?
I still have it.
You
It's
still have it?
I have it.
Shit.
it's in that filing cabinet somewhere.
It's
But I know
floating
it's
around
there.
somewhere.
Dude,
I found it a time or two, just rummaging through bulk.
packs or actual official pack set. Well, one of the Shining Dragons were super expensive. If it was like a first edition year, oh,
It's not the one I have. Yeah, it's from my childhood though, and it's mine. I I should pull that out and put it in my I have this binder.
oh, your no binder.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
no binder.
I don't. So, if we're on the topic of who goes versus who, as a made up character, you don't have to specify like design and everything. But if you wanted to see one of our current Yu-Gi-Oh decks, or it could be like probably past Edison, what deck would you want to see in the Yu-Gi-Oh and what would be the character's name who uses?
What kind of deck would I want to see in a Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
That's not already like in an anime, like no Stardust, no Dark Magician, that type of. What outside deck would you want to see in a Yu-Gi-Oh anime would be played without like further support or anything, like just bare bones?
Ooh, I'd want to see my original DD deck. It was a deck based around Grenmudge de Aiza. Um, it was it was dirty. Focused around Macrocosmos, Needleworm, and basically just trying to bounce as many things out of play as you possibly could to bring out Grenmaju. And then if you were able to summon Golden Homunculus, you'd be able to. Um, I think that'd be really cool to see that animated.
Dude, a main character running Grenmaju would be fucking awesome.
I want to see this used by the actual Dark. I want to say Grand Maju. I could be wrong. It could have been Grant. It could have been one of the bigger Grand Majus.
I'm gonna actually look that up real quick.
Like the 6 or something. I could be wrong. But as far as my knowledge goes, I've not even finished the second season of 5Ds. I would actually have to dip into fucking Zexal Arc 5 and which would have been Greens. But I know DDD is like somewhat more Xyz than anything. So I don't know if that was made.
Oh, I don't know anything about the DDD monsters. I know about, like, when I say the DD monsters, I'm talking about like DD Warrior or DD Warrior Lady from the original set, where you attack them and everything gets bounced.
Okay. Okay. So different dimension. Okay.
Different, yeah, the different dimension monsters. Like I remember DD Survivor was my favorite card because 1800 4-star monster. And every time that he gets removed from play, he comes back at the end phase.
It doesn't look like Grenmaju was in the anime, but it was used by like NPCs in some of the games.
Oh, okay.
Specifically Grenmaju.
Dude, I want them to re-release Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories.
Yes.
That game was so much fun.
You could get lost for hours in that game.
I thought it was really funny that you could like fuse spell cards.
Right? It was literally like playing the anime.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was no card effects. Everything was vanilla. And you could just summon whatever you want. Like, it's there.
It was such a great time.
Yeah.
The other one, I don't know if I want them to re-release, but I would at least like to have a solid playthrough of it. I had it for a very short time, but it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Of the Roses for PS2.
Yeah, Duels of the Roses was cool.
Like
Dude.
I literally played it for like 5 minutes, and then I forget. I think I got San Andreas, and that kind of just took over.
I would even be happy with a Dungeon Dice Monsters game.
They had that, and then soon after they discontinued.
Yeah, it was the video game was really bad. So I would love for them to redo it because that like little side arc, I thought that was really cool. Yugi versus Devlin with Dungeon Dice Monsters. Like I don't know, I just thought it was really cool.
They could have made. They could have literally made that its own so well.
Yeah.
Like there are so many people within like the community is like that I've met at tournaments that have, and it's like, why isn't this actually a thing? Like they're honestly for themselves. I figure, they could use this, even if it's some kind of money grab thing, just give us a basic format, like, base to go off of, and we'll make it work.
Okay.
Just give us the product.
Also a starter set.
Like I remember at one point in time you could buy Dungeon Dice, like the actual dice.
Oh, I don't
'Cause,
remember that.
yeah, my friend's little brother had a couple of them. Like they didn't fold out or nothing. They were just regular dice, but they had all like the symbols from Dungeon Dice Monsters on them,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they were neat.
That is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I
So
wish I
apparently
would have
there
known
was
about
a
that as
full.
a kid.
Yeah, I guess there was like an actual board game for it too.
Huh. Dude, speaking of old board games, there was one I had as a kid, and I wanted to get it so I could play it with my kid, but it's like $300. It was called
Oh dear.
Pokemon. It was called Pokemon Master board game.
Ah, yeah,
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
yeah.
Boys
Master
and Girls.
Quest.
Master
Yeah,
Quest. Yes, that's what it was called.
yeah. I do remember Pokemon Master Quest or Master Trainer board game. Sorry, Master Trainer.
Yeah, it was the black box, and it had like
Yeah.
all the original 151 on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a Master Trainer.
Dude,
Yeah.
I had that.
I had it at
I
one
can't
point in time.
I just can't I couldn't stomach the price for it now.
Yeah.
Like I've seen them upwards of like $300 on
Oh,
eBay.
that doesn't surprise me.
But it's just like, like I get that it's worth, some kind of money, but like come on. Some people like I just don't get how some things like that get to a price point like that.
I mean, look at all the scalpers doing what they're doing with the act.
Well, I've been seeing a lot of scalpers get beat up on the internet recently, and I'm not upset to see it.
It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy when I see I see them lose their stuff. Like maybe that makes me a bad person, but
It doesn't make you a bad person.
You're just watching karma take its toll on somebody. There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
right, like I was watching some random guy on TikTok. He does a skit. His character's name is Scalpy. And apparently he got into like some real life beef with a card shop owner because I guess he went to this card shop and they had everything up priced to like the fucking moon. And so he was sitting there like he took some pictures and stuff and then he uploaded them to TikTok and had like captions and whatnot. Well, apparently the card shop owner saw the video. So on his own business Facebook account, he goes ahead and he puts out a reply and he's just like shit talking and he's trying to defend himself, and so the guy makes a reply to it, and it turns out that the card shop owner is like just this horrible person, and like he prides himself on farting on people in his business.
What?
And yeah, and like he was like, if you come back into my shop, we're gonna have a discussion face to face and I'm gonna fart in your face. It's like, you are a grown man.
Dude, what?
You're a grown man.
Imagine you farts as a threat in 2025.
It's like, dude, you are a full-grown man.
Probably a
Ugh.
debate of 280, and you're making fucking fart jokes. You own a business.
Like, that does not look good as a store owner.
It doesn't look good
Nah.
as a store owner or like a future resume. Like, what the fuck?
Like, the only, like, just, I'm not surprised to hear it, though. That I have seen a lot of shit in my day, and this is just, one on the bingo card that I didn't know was there.
And the best part is it's still up. He released this May 16th. And this special man still has it up there on his Facebook page.
Special man.
Yeah, there you go. You guys can watch that after this. Ugh, it's so dumb.
people people in today's society are not down to earth.
No, it's turned into a bunch of greed and a bunch of greed.
Yeah,
That's why I don't really. Well, it puts food in my belly and like a roof over my head, but I don't like working for corpos.
yeah.
They are the greediest, and they just don't make sense half the time for what their policies or whatever is, or why they have this price this high or this low, and so on and so forth. Their rules just make no sense. All they want is money at the end of the day. It's like, I don't understand. You're a multi-billion-dollar company, and you can't even make small changes here and there to, like, I don't know, fix a bike rack,
That
stuff like
sounds
that.
like when I worked at Walmart.
I currently work at Walmart.
Oh, do you?
Buddy, I'm sorry, but as soon as he said that, it made me crack up because I knew you
Yeah.
were gonna say something.
Yes, I worked for Walmart for almost 10 years. And that that shit was bad.
It got worse.
Oh, I bet.
I,
Yeah,
I've been almost I've been almost working there for about almost 3 years now. Around September 13th is where my 3 years will actually start.
oh wow.
But it's bad. Like, I thought manager, like, how the manager's poll is like, you go from team lead, then you go to coach, which is the highest level for like your area of wherever,
Okay.
right? And then it goes straight to store manager. Obviously, that's like the whole store, and you got to keep track of budget. Makes no sense. You got to keep track of budget, who's doing what. I found out tonight that our store manager can only give out so much overtime. I didn't figure out if it was yearly, monthly, weekly, whatever. But I was like, how are you limited to how much overtime you're giving out to like certain? How are you doing it for certain people? Is my question. Why shouldn't it be for everybody? Like, this person gets this set amount of overtime. This person, it shouldn't be a select few. That's a little, sketchy for me.
Well, that I don't know if you can really chalk to the corporation itself. That sounds like. Now, I mean, I guess in a sense you could, but I feel like at least in 2025 that a lot of places like Walmart and some grocery stores even maybe just something along those, and I'm not trying to say this, but it's like in that line of work, I feel like it's a lot of turnover rates because of the like little cliques that form. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
As people like move up the chain in those stores. I don't know, I could definitely see it in a setting.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective as being an employee of like a certain corporation, if someone's coming to you wanting for like any reason, it could be a uh anything like you need the you need overtime to make ends meet with whatever situation you're dealing with. Like it could be my mom's going into surgery. I'm trying to look for some overtime so I can make extra cash. So because she can't pay like the majority of it, I'm trying to like help her out and stuff like that. It's like as a corporation, if you need people and you're short staffed somewhere, why wouldn't you put that person where you're short staffed the most and have the most problems in that area and have, you know, have them help out? It just doesn't click with me because certain quotas need to be met, like this person needs to be happy because this reason, stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. That's why I like small family owned companies. Like they're not too strict. Like they'll help you out where it needs. And it's laid back, but at least it's still in a strict manner of like, hey, you need to get this done and this. They're not money hungry and they're trying to help more people out than what Walmart, Giant, Wise, or any big corporation is.
I
And the
agree
only
with you for the most part on that, but coming from somebody that's worked for quite a few different sized outfits, like ranging from like corporate level shit to small mom and pop shops to like shit that's kind of in between.
Yeah.
There's shitheads everywhere you go. Like it's inevitable. Just some people suck.
Tell me.
and the
Uh,
pay scaling is definitely different between mom and pop shops and corporate entities.
Oh yeah, for
for
sure.
sure.
Just because the corporate people they can afford to pay you a little bit more, even though they normally won't, but they can afford to. Whereas a mom and pop shop, they might not be able to pay you what you need.
Yeah.
But no, I
Yeah,
get it. Working for corporate stuff, it that sucks sometimes.
yeah. I mean, it has its pros and its cons, but I don't know. At the end of the day, I just feel like most big corporations just suck with their practices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, not basing it on a scale or anything, but people that work for said corporations, it could also be leading into like different things going on at home or just in their personal life in general. Like they just feel stuck in school. Like it could honestly go into a this is a dark direction, but it could lead into like depressions, like why the suicide rates are so. One, the corporation isn't you as a. That's the difference between corporation, mom and paw shop. For me, you actually get the reputation and from mom and paw than you would from a corporation. They just number making them money.
Mm-hmm.
Where mom and paw shops are down to earth, understanding, will work with whatever customer or personal like friend or whatever that has helped them make the corporation where their shop or business, and they'll give them like special discounts or like well like corporations like Walmart don't give a fuck. They bend the of their policy just to make. That's what I hate most about store is like if you bitch enough you get it for free or even, which makes no sense. You gotta like stay firm with like your rules. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. That's my take on.
The government's the biggest corporation in the world.
Yeah.
The government is the biggest corporation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm glad to see all of our fixed.
Dude, our roads are shitty up here.
Where's Dylan from? You're in Florida
Originally?
now?
Nah, I'm in Virginia.
All right, Virginia. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that is right. You did say you're close to the beach.
Mm.
Yep. A little bit of a drive, but yeah, the beach isn't too far.
I mean, from my perspective, at least our crime rate isn't as bad as fucking up in Texas.
Dude, I'm glad I live in a small, quiet little
Yeah.
Worst
That
thing
that
that
is that's definitely one thing that I do miss about where I lived in New York was it was a small area.
the worst thing that an Amish person can do is let their horse shit right in front of you, in front of other people. That's the worst thing. Anything
Shit
other than
all over the road.
Yep, dude, I can live with it. If I gotta, you know, swerve out of the way of some horse shit once in a while, cool with it.
Mhm,
Because all they do, they pass by, smile, and wave.
mhm.
Whether
They're
they're in the horse and buggy or their big old van. Yeah, Mennonite country was definitely interesting to live near.
But wait, what'd you say?
I said Mennonite country was definitely interesting to live near.
I'm sure it was, because they're Mennonite, or they're a little more advanced.
Yeah, they're the ones with the vans.
Yep, but they can only be a certain color. Well, three colors.
Oh, really?
Yep.
who?
Mennonite. I actually learned this working at the body shop. Mennonites will only take three colors in a like vehicle, because we actually did a complete paint job on a, like, at the time, all but brand new Chevy, because it was like a maroon color, and it has to be either black, gray, or white.
Wow.
Or
That's the only way that Mennonite apparently will buy vehicles. Or at least maybe it was just that, or because it's like each community follows, like, way of following their rules. I don't know. Uh so like I would say, like, the Amish around my area here.
mhm.
They, like, from here to, like, Newburgh or something like that. That would be like one order of Amish people. Like,
Mm.
that's one community. So I guess it would really depend on the community.
Mm.
Because, like, I even know, like, the old order Amish, people that follow the old ways, like, they are so and a lot of those, I think, are where you're seeing a lot of the, like, people, air quote, running from the Amish. There- Some of them, that, there are a lot of younger Amish folk that they just don't want to live that lifestyle. They
Right.
see everything going on around them, and that's just a little bit that we have. I mean, we're not like super advanced like cities and stuff like that, but
We're so seeing the lifestyles of other people.
yeah,
Like driving a car is so much faster than a horse and buggy.
and it's air conditioned and
It's air
heated.
conditioned. You're not driving a bike unless it's a motorcycle. And I've recently, not recently, I have learned that they have this thing for, I can't remember if it's for Mennonites and Amish or if it's only Amish territory. They have these ceremonial things. It's like you get to have a whole year to do whatever. They give them some amount of money and you go buy this car, do this, see how you like it. If you don't, you stay with the Amish community. If you do, you're kicked out of the Amish community or something of the sort, and your parents disown you. All this awful stuff, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
you're shunned. That's
yeah,
what.
you're shunned, and it's just like, how are you gonna make somebody choose between like if having your parents love you forever versus you will be shamed for
That
and being
is.
called like whatever slurs they use.
That's how strict they are.
And I get not I I don't
I'll tell you one thing I'd love to be Amish for is not paying taxes.
Right.
Fuck, that would be a dream.
that could go for many of
It's called Rumspringa, or the hell. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Rumspringa.
Yeah.
Yep, it's like they're it's a supposed to be the period of their lives where they're kind of allowed to experiment and like get all their sins out.
yeah.
Experience the world.
Yeah, they throw the best parties.
Yeah, because they say it's from 16 to 24 years of age. And then you got to make that decision. Be like, you want to come back to candlelight dinner or
You want to
be
keep
a,
party.
or be a normal person?
It's I a friend of mine. Oh, actually, he was a coworker turned friend. We went to the same VOTEC, but we were from different school districts, so we didn't know each other like super well. Um, but we ended up working together at the body shop that I worked at, and he, funny enough, invited me out to a party one night, and I rode in a horse and buggy. Like I met him, hopped in his vehicle, we drove out to the spot, and then took horse and buggy like for a while back into a field. And there was just this raging bonfire going. And I mean, it was like the coolest party I'd ever been to. And I'm not going to lie to you, I have never felt safer waking up in a field. Like, those are the. Even though they're partying, they are still such good, honest people. It's. We need to take notes. But, yeah, we went from long text to Amish people.
yeah.
Imagine an Amish Yu-Gi-Oh player.
Whole Jebediah stepping up to the field. Dude, what would they play?
Something that has horse and buggies and fucking carriage and all that.
Performa pals?
yeah. Fuck, have a donkey in there, I'm pretty sure.
They do.
Yeah. I just don't know what it's called, but I know. Oh, it has to be like old western or something.
That or
There's
you'd see them roll up with a full Machina deck.
that would be awesome. Dude, Amish playing Earth Machines? I'm here for it.
It'd be something, that's for sure.
Dude, I feel like I need to do that at locals one time.
Just build earth machines.
And I'm just going to walk in with a straw hat. I'm going to register my name that day as Ishmael.
Something for Jebediah.
I feel like I'm more of an Ishmael.
yeah, I see it.
Because it's funny enough, I am very Mennonite. I just recently found all this out. But my real father's mother she comes from a Mennonite family.
Oof.
How'd you find this out? Ancestry.com?
No, just recently came back in contact with her.
You look like your daddy.
Dude, what's really funny is I saw like my real dad. I saw him for the first time. It's been like 20 years.
Wow.
It was so funny. I pulled up, so dude's living with my grandmother right now. I pull up to his driveway. Well, to their driveway, I guess technically. And this dog comes out of the garage. And it was a big ass pit bull. And I'm like, ooh, I don't want to make assumptions, but fuck, look at the size of that dog's head. So I waited for a second, and here my real dad comes out of the garage, and I'm like, oh, there's no fucking way this dude is here right now. I'm like, ah, like I don't want to do this today. But he grabs the dog real quick, puts the dog in the garage. I get out of my car, and he comes over with his hand out, like to greet me. And he's going on saying, like, the dog's friendly. He wouldn't hurt, you don't got to worry about it. And he gets up to me. He's like, I'm Rodney. What's your name? I had to pull a sling blade on him. I literally went, I'm your boy. I'm your oldest boy. This dude's eyes got as big as the wheels on my car. I mean, that dude, I shocked that man to his core. He didn't even know who his own son was. And I thought it was funny as shit. Might sound a little dark. You might have to edit that part out, but I figured one of you guys would laugh at that. Is Dylan still with us?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Sorry, my wife called.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I just wanted to make sure we didn't lose you.
Oh no, I'm still here. No, I just didn't want to interrupt your story.
Oh
Like
no,
I,
that
I
was
was.
pretty much it. I kind of got my lick in without trying.
Hey man, that works.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts that he didn't even recognize you though.
Oh, dude, it was funny as shit. Like I had to pull myself together not to laugh at him.
Jeez, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, so is life.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I think that might be a decent ending point for the night.
Ending it with daddy issues.
Yeah, dude. I feel like that's the title for this episode. Ending it with daddy issues. That's great. That's great. Um uh yeah, I'll ask you once we wrap up here. Um so everybody, with this, we're gonna end it with daddy issues. Hope we didn't drive you away too much with a bit of a darkness. But anyway, you know where to find us. Tell your friends, tell your wives, tell your kids, tell them to tell everybody.
Oh, that
And
guy down at the grocery store.
yeah, dude, especially the guy at the grocery store, he sees everybody.
Actually, before we leave, I was at Walmart the other day,
Uh-huh.
and I went ahead and I got on some of the laptops that were there, and I just
Okay.
like brought, I think it was like 3 or 4 of the laptop pages to the Set 2 and Pass YouTube channel.
Dude,
and
yes.
just left it there.
That's awesome. Dude, that is the best free advertisement ever. Why? You are a
Right.
genius.
Like I was almost debating on printing out like little business card kind of things and then just start leaving them in random stores.
Dude, that's also a good idea because, like, a lot of the, like, especially the vape stores that I go to, like, they always have business cards up at the registers. Like, they're all kinds of stuff.
That'd be pretty dope.
That actually wouldn't be a half bad idea. Look out for our business cards.
And then we're gonna get someone in the comment section. Why the hell did I find this stuff in the shitter? Couldn't tell you.
Hopefully, it didn't tell you to call us for a good time.
but if it did, you can usually find us Monday mornings on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts from.
That's right.
We'll
But
be your
wait,
good time. You just
but wait,
we
there's
just
more.
can't talk to you.
I mean, we'll talk to you in the comments.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you got a topic you want to see discussed, leave it there in the comment section.
Yeah, exactly. Just tell us what you want to hear.
If you
Believe
want
me,
to
we'll shoot the shit about anything.
Oh my god, yeah.
random bullshit though, we're free to do that too.
That is also a thing. If you like hearing us just trail off about long Yu-Gi-Oh text to Amish people, then we can also hook that up.
That really did take a left turn real quick.
I really don't know how we got there.
If you made it this far, type type down in the comments daddy issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hashtag daddy issues. That will bring up a whole new series that you'll have to erase your history for.
Dude, I feel like we're gonna get put on somebody's algorithm that we should not be
Oh my god.
They're gonna start the episode. They're gonna be like, I thought these guys had daddy issues. They're talking about a fucking card game.
I hope someone comments that too. Oh shit, that would be hilarious. Oh, but with that, everybody, we're gonna call this an episode. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Toodles.